For centuries, the Bible has been read as a book of faith, a collection of stories, or a moral guide. But what if I told you it's much more than that? A legally binding contract, a royal decree, a battle for a kingdom. And right now, whether you realize it or not, you're part of its final chapter. The Bible isn't just a book, it's a legally binding contract between God and humanity. And like all ancient legal treaties, it follows a precise structure: a promise, a witness, a sacrifice, and a seal. In the ancient world, covenants were agreements between rulers and their people. They weren't just words, they were law. And the Bible follows this exact pattern, proving it wasn't written randomly but designed with legal precision. The covenant with Moses wasn't just a set of religious rules, it was a constitution for an entire nation. God promised to protect Israel, but in return they had to follow his laws. This was not just a spiritual connection, it was a legal bond. And then comes the final contract, the new covenant, sealed not with ink, but with blood. Jesus declared that his sacrifice would replace the old law, fulfilling the ancient promises and creating a new, eternal agreement between God and humanity. This wasn't just a religious shift, it was a legal transformation that changed everything. Jesus wasn't just a religious figure, he was a king in exile. His genealogy in Matthew 1 traces his lineage directly to King David, proving his legal right to Israel's throne. But Rome already had its own kings, puppet rulers like Herod, installed to keep control. A true heir to David's throne? That was a threat. A king born under prophecy, with the legal right to rule? That was something Rome couldn't allow. The Jewish people were waiting for a warrior king to overthrow Rome. Instead, Jesus spoke of a kingdom not of this world. They expected a leader who would conquer by the sword, but he came to conquer hearts. They didn't see a king, they saw a problem. And like Israel had done before, they rejected divine rule, choosing power over prophecy. The Bible isn't just a collection of stories, it's a perfect mirror. What begins in Genesis is restored in Revelation. The entire structure of the Bible reflects this divine symmetry. In Genesis, paradise is lost through disobedience. In Revelation, paradise is restored through faith. In Genesis, a serpent deceives. In Revelation, the serpent is defeated. Nothing in the Bible is random. Every event is designed to bring the story full circle, pointing toward an ultimate restoration, the return to Eden. Many researchers have studied this structure, and it's no coincidence. The Bible's design is intentional. Every prophecy, every covenant, every event leads to a final conclusion. Here's the part no one talks about. The final test of humanity isn't about a forbidden fruit, it's about worship. In the beginning, humanity had to choose, trust God or take control. That test is repeating, but this time, it's global. Revelation speaks of a time when people must choose who they serve, not through words, but through allegiance. In an age of artificial intelligence, digital control, and global governance, the lines between freedom and obedience are being drawn. And whether we realize it or not, we are stepping into prophecy. We are living in the most connected, advanced age in human history, just as the Bible foretold. The final test isn't in the future, it's already begun. The story isn't over, you're in it. So here's the real question. If the Bible is more than a book, if it's a legal contract, a royal decree, a battle for a kingdom, where do you stand? The last page of history hasn't been written yet, and whether you realize it or not, you're already part of the story.